everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We have a team coming into this game in hope of joining the ranks of the select few teams that have finished the regular season undefeated. Let's see if they can keep that dream alive with a win here in this one. It's the Giants going up against the Saints. Set for the call of this Week 15 matchup, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. As usual, the streets of the nearby French Quarter are alive as we are in downtown New Orleans at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New York Giants and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they interplay. They come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they've been flawless all year long as they hit the home stretch at 13-0.
And now they just have to guard against complacency. You still got to go out and earn it every week.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And a glance here at the vet. He's got a lot of years under his belt in the National Football League. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And a very good offensive unit here. One of the reasons they're so good is running back Mark Ingram.
Took a little while for him to find his footing when he got into the league, but the former Heisman Trophy winner has it now and has really upped his pass receiving potential. A nice player.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on 2nd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And Thomas seems to be in some pain. He's still on the ground. We'll check on his status when we get back. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And the defense for New York.
Geno Atkins is an absolute force as a defensive tackle. Forces every offense that he plays against to alter their game plan.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They'll set up a throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Second down now after the incompletion.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And now a carry here for Orleans Darkwa. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to third down.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Out of the gun now on third down. Finding time. He's going to rifle one, and that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. 88 yards. And the Giants are going to take a first quarter lead. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Giants have a 7-0 lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. They'll come out in the pistol. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third. Well, it was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. He's at the 50. the 30, past the 20, and he is down deep into Giant territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 69 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They come up in an offset eye. Coleman. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
So often you hear defensive coaches talk about we need all 11 on every play in order to be a good run-stopping unit, and sometimes it starts to sound a little cliche. But did you see the free safety on that play? Knifing through and running down the ball carrier. A huge, huge play. And when you have a free safety who can run like that, you've got to turn him loose.
And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. And his kick is indeed good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Trucks through him.
Oh, man, right through him.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Brandon, last week we saw this guy play really, really well. A top-notch performance. I'm sure he's ready to do it again today, and we get to witness it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to work. And a cut to the left sideline. Touchdown, Giants. Orleans Darkwa, 76 yards. And the Giants strike quickly here for 6 points. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Gold to add the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. We get a look now at the Giants defense as they file into position. And they did well down near the goal line last time, forcing them to settle for a short field goal.
And in today's day and age, settling for a field goal of that distance is amazing. You can get 3 points now, where it's going to give you only 1 point for the extra point, which would be a little bit longer. But they have to feel fantastic about only giving up 3 in that situation. It could have been so much worse.
Yeah, could have. Now can they carry that over? And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. It's a loss of 8 there on the first down play.
Well, anytime it's a toss or a pitch play, it's a battle for the edges. Who's going to control the edge of the line of scrimmage? In other words, can the defensive guys hold their leverage? What we were always taught was keep your outside arm or outside shoulder free if you were playing on the play side, meaning the ball coming towards you. And anyone coming from the backside, they're pinching down and sliding down towards it.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now they face a third down after the fumble on second down.
Let's go. 3-19.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there, and it's fourth down.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Taken from just outside the 30.
Whoosh.
He won't go down. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape. 1st and 10. And now out come the Giants. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. 26 yards on the pickup there. And the Giants are going to get a first down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Giants add on to their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good. That is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
And it's 21-3. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They begin the drive with Coleman. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Now, that result is no surprise. This team is bringing back memories of what? The 85 Bears, the 2000 Ravens. Those teams were so great against the run, they made you abandon any plans of doing that when you played against them.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now he'll look to throw here under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
And the O-line will have to do a better job protecting here on 3rd down after that sack.
Check A2, check A2. Hurry up, here we go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking for Snead, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
So it's 3rd and long, and you know this is going to be a pass. So defensively, they're bringing an extra defensive back and just blanket the field. And this is an ill-advised throw right here as it winds up being picked off easily.
The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. You can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
Fights off another.
I think the second tackler would have learned from the first.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Not an ideal spot to be on 1st down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in 2nd and manageable.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
One receiver left, 3 to the right.
Let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw here. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard. And now it's 2nd down. This offense has a lot to account for, but at the top of the defense's list is OBJ.
I'm not sure how you really game plan for him because no matter what you do, he finds a way to uncover himself downfield. And the speed gets it from his mom, a former sprinter at LSU.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll look to throw here. Out to his left. And he will score. Touchdown, Giants. It's their quarterback. Doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Now Gold for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack. But I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone. And it's a
hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Big sack on second down. Now the offense needs to convert here on third. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right.
Green 39! Green 39!
Now Glennon. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
Well, Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean, they can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Fielded at the 43. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The Saints defense getting ready here, heading back onto the field. They struggled that last drive. They were kind of hit 2 ways, both with the run and the pass.
And I love how you brought hit into it because a lot of defense coordinators like to show a little cut-up film the night before a game. They usually have some boxing in there, and it always shows the guy being the aggressor, the guy on his toes punching, not back on his heels taking punches, and that's where this defense was in the last possession.
They were on their heels. Will they be on their heels again? Let's see. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll set up to throw. Surveying the field. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Tyler Eifert, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Giants have got it on cruise control. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Gold to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Glennon throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. Coleman now. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. So a 3rd and 9, and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
And he's got it over the middle. Fleener. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. This is taken at the 15. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
Wow, evasive.
Make them miss.
Touchdown, Giants. Their dangerous wide receiver doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Giants just continue to pour it on.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Now Gold for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Giants defense now ready as they trot back out onto the field. Hope they didn't get too comfortable on the sideline. They had the 3-and-out, the punt return for a touchdown. Boom, right back out there.
They're okay with that, though, because of what it led to. And let's face it, they keep a statistic, 4 3-and-outs. Most teams want to lead the league in those as well as in takeaways.
They'll be looking for another 3-and-out this time. They go play action here on first down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It's a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a second down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
He'll drop to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Here we go now. 3-19.
This is Coleman. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
He'll look to throw. And brought in here by Flainer. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. Offense coming up, needing 2 yards on third down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. He'll look to set up his blockers. Oh, he slipped right by him. And he's loose again. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Their dangerous wide receiver. What is going on here? 4 first-quarter touchdowns. Unbelievable. And the Giants have got it on cruise control.
That's his second touchdown return of the game. And, yes, we're only in the first quarter.
How about that for a start? So he's on pace for 8. You think he gets there?
I don't see how. But right now, he's got to like what he's getting done.
Yeah, he likes it. His team loving it. Gold to add the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Here's the Giant defense now as they head back onto the field. They're just hoping for more of the same. Last time they forced the punt that led to a score.
They flipped the field, essentially. And that's what you want to do as a defense. Make sure that you put your offense in a great position to run their offense and put the ball in the end zone. That's exactly what they accomplished.
Yeah, they accomplished that last time. What will they accomplish this go-around?
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
Now a play fake here on first down. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it.
4 down, 4 down. Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. Can't wait to see what the second quarter has in store. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Shoulders were made for greatness, not dandruff.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out.
Trip. Got 3. Key 8. Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
On play action, they'll throw. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Keenan Robinson in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. It's taken to the 26.
Oh,
He will not go down.
have to retape those ankles.
He had one man to beat. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down. And this is going to set up a 1st and goal from the 5. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team, keep your offense moving at a really high level, and it's also how you establish leadership by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes, that's the way to lead.
Now he's just open for number 4. They'll set up a throw, and he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Victor Cruz, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Giants just continue to pour it on. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And the route is on here in this first half. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Now Glennon. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third. Third down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Fielded at the 20. Look at the spin.
Balance.
A second spin.
Turn it.
And there he goes again. Touchdown, Giants. Their dangerous wide receiver, 79 yards. And the Giants have got it on cruise control.
All right, count them along with me. That's his third return for a touchdown in this game. Why is the ball being kicked to him? That would be my question.
I was just going to ask you the same question because we see two occasionally. I mean, very rare. Three, unbelievable. Now Gold for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is not with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. Glennon. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And who's got it? The Giants.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead.
39! Green 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here at 2nd and 12. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
Here we go now. Blue 90! Blue 90!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Giants just continue to pour it on. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Giants defense working their way back onto the field now. They recovered the fumble last time. 3 turnovers for them in this game. They've been, that word opportunistic comes to mind, right?
Exactly right. And you know guys on defense, they say the turnovers. The offensive guys call them turnovers. We call them takeaways. We go get them. And that's exactly what they've done in this game.
The former DB making sure you know their takeaways on the defense.
Takeaways, man.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
They come out here in the eye.
Green 39! Green 39!
Here's Coleman, and he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And take it right on the 30. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. We get a look at the Saints defense as they file into position. And maybe for them at this stage, it's sort of put up or shut up time. They need to stop trailing here.
Oh, I'm with you totally on that one. They've got to go out there now and put an end to what's been going on in this ball game where they've just given up points, gotten pushed around, so to speak, during this contest. They've got to find a way to end it right here, right now.
Can they end it? Let's find out. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He'll rifle this one. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. They get 31 yards that time. And the Giants will be set up with a 1st and goal. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
2nd and goal. Defense digging in again here. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Orleans Darkwa, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Giants have got it on cruise control. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. The Giants defense getting ready to go here. They were able to force that 3 and out. That led to a touchdown. Defenses obviously love 3 and outs. They want more of that.
They created a very short and not too sweet stint for the offense by getting them off the field that fast, but it set up their own offense, gave them a little spark, and they took it downfield and scored.
Now the question, can they do it again? Let's see. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Key to tight end. 4 down. Now let's go. 3-19.
They will run again with Coleman. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Jason Pierre-Paul first burst on the scene for me, headed towards his draft year. You know what I saw him doing? Like 15, 16 backflips in a row on a YouTube video.
Athlete.
Absolute athlete, and he uses that agility to slip past guys and make plays in the backfield.
That draft year 2010, 15th overall pick. Another pistol look here.
3-19.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. And taken right at the 35. Nice stiff arm.
Underused, but still effective. Whoosh.
Might have been one man away from 6 points. As it stands, it's a huge return. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20. The Saints defense ready to set up shop again here. And a tough spot here for the defense, kind of already with their backs against the wall.
Just gave up a touchdown on their last possession. Now starting in tough field position. One thought in mind. At worst, give up a field goal. That's the goal for them right now. No more than 3 points given up. If that happens, they'll feel really good running to the sideline.
I would think the defensive coordinator would feel pretty good, too.
Oh, he'd be ecstatic about that. Of course, he'll say, give up none, but 3 is really the realistic goal.
And we'll see if they can hold him. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on 1st down.
That give them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on 1st down.
No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no yardage.
Okay.
The Saints with an extra defensive back here on 3rd on the field.
Could they blitz?
Now back to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the 1st half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Now Darquan. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Everyone's got 4 down. All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Mike.
He'll drop to throw. That's caught at the 3. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. Orleans Darquan on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Giants just continue to pour it on. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Gold to add the extra point. And the route is on here in this 1st half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Yeah, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. And now the Saints get set to trot out there.
Hey, tight left, tight end left. 4 down. All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
But he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
So 2nd and 10 here.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
shotgun. He'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You drop an 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Out of the gun now on third down. And he comes back with one complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Now Glennon firing quickly here, and that's complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Watch tight. Tight ends right. Watch tight. Tight ends right. Here we go now. Boom!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now second down.
It appears that the pressure is affecting him today. Normally, he knows exactly when to get rid of the football, but today, because he's been hit a few times, he's getting rid of it a little bit too quickly.
Four down. Check. Four down. Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Check. 93's the mic. 93's the mic.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he will find his man on the outside. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now you can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. A good effort there from distance, but he might have needed a little more help from the air conditioning behind him on that one.
It probably would have helped. This is awfully close to getting there. It was right on target, but it winds up being just a little bit short.
Heading back out there now, the Saints defense. And with this deficit, let's be honest, it's time for them to get a stop.
And partners, you understand very well from our time together and visiting with coaches, defensive coordinators tend to be a little more emotional, a little more high-strung than others.
They are.
I have a feeling that that speech came out about taking a stand and bowing up in this possession.
Yeah, that's where this word pride comes out, right?
In a big way.
Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
He'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Four down. Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run with Darkwa. 20. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Orleans Darkwa on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Giants have got it on cruise control. Now Gold for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field.
And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes. Jason Pierre-Paul in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Tight end right, tight end right. Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Glennon. Brought in left side by Snead. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Third down, still 14 yards left. They come out here in the eye. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
That's taken on the 25. Look at this spin.
Balance.
He won't go down. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top as we send you on over to Orlando, where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA halftime report. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Saints don't have much to hang their hat on after the first half. The Giants have done whatever they want, and they'll just try to keep that up in the second half. All right, let's get straight to it. Here's some highlights from the first half. Now 3rd and 8. Completion will be made here to a wide-open man. And after the long pass, he'll score. Giants now on top. 1st and 10. Run play coming up here, and he'll go in for the score. The Giants push their lead to 11. Giants now, they have it at the 45. The catch in traffic made by Eifert, and he'll win the sprint to the end zone. Giants way out in front. Morstead set up for the punt, and this long run goes for a touchdown. The Giants continue to dominate. Morstead's punting it away, and he'll take this all the way for the touchdown. The blowout rolls on. Morstead set up for the punt, He gone as he sprints to the end zone, continuing a high-scoring half. So that's it for us. We'll go back now to New Orleans for the start of the second half.
All right, Larry, indeed a one-sided affair to this point as we get set for half two. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. Caught left side. It's Beckham. Give them 22 on that one. And it'll give the Giants a first down. And now this is back-to-back weeks that he has treated us with a really solid performance.
We know he's great. We expect it. But this is pretty special what we're watching here. We're watching a guy in total command of every situation, throwing the ball well, guiding his team, moving them. This is a whole lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, it was fun last week. Sometimes it feels like we're at all these games. Now a play fake here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Haoli Kikaha in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And just like that, it's third down.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but they still got a big chunk of yardage on second down.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Giants. A big play there. 46 yards. And the Giants just continue to pour it on. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Gold to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Now back to throw. Left side and caught by Flainer. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards on the play.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. Yeah. He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
Fresh set of downs here. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And now here's a carry heading left. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on 1 run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now Glennon. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Whether they deserve credit or not, the defense is going to take credit for that incompletion because it always feels good when you slow down an offense.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jason Pierre-Paul able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Man, confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. On the run, Darkwa. Oh, he bowls over him. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And another good game here as the numbers show. We had a rare meeting with the entire offensive line this week. They were pretty ecstatic. Well, they should be ecstatic again.
And we had that meeting with them because of how they played last week. I thought it was your idea. It was brilliant to say, let's bring the big guys in.
Kind.
Well, it was true. Let's talk to the guys. How did they pull that off? Because they were so productive. No real problems in getting to the offensive backfield. They were getting downfield, getting the 2nd, 3rd level, creating extra blocks. We're seeing that again this week. They are really locked in. So credit to them, but also a big credit to the offensive line coach because he's got to feel great about what he's prepared.
Absolutely. And the offense looking to pick up the 1st down after the second down incompletion.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Tight end left. Tight end left. Hey. Four down. Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Here's Darkwa. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line. Paoli Kikaha with a tackle.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on.
He'll look to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. 23 yards on the play. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Hey, boys, we got four down. Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. 95 Blue 90.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Four down. Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. 95%. Check his mic.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Over the middle to Beckham. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the third most in a single year. And the Giants have got it on cruise control.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Now Gold for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up. But you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Crashing in from the end there, not to disrupt the pass game, but to disrupt the run game.
Yeah, I love the distinction, too, because the good defensive ends, they can do it all. Set the edge in the run game, make sure that no one can move it that way, and, of course, rush the passer. On that play, use his speed to get there in the run game.
Green 39. Green 39.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical. Spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically. You just have to win it by position. That may open things up for your running backs.
So now a 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary. A nickel look. Glennon. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. Taken in at the 22. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. New York set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments.
That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Their dangerous wide receiver, 57 yards. And the Giants just continue to pour it on. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game. And if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit. Try it that way.
It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push him back more.
All right, here we go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Brought in left side by Snead. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And an alley to run. And he'll cut it out to the sideline. A big-time play there for New Orleans. And even 40 yards.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
And he's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all. But the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why the defensive guys have to feel pretty good, even though he's over 100 yards.
Yeah, he topped 100 with that last catch.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Blue 90. Blue 90. Check 93.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Strong right. Strong right. Hey, 4 down. 4 down.
An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. He'll drop to throw. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, I guess we're at the stage here where they wouldn't say no to any points, but I don't think field goals are what they're looking for here in the second half.
I don't either, Brandon. When you're down as much as they are, that's the sign of a head coach waving the white flag to me.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. Stiff-armed him. A second stiff arm. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. And New York set to take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Dayton Jones makes the stop defensively.
That was a really nice play, to be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain.
39. Green 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And, oh, this is Beckham remaining down on the ground. And apparently in some pain. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
Hey, here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he won't get much. maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 and the 34. The tackle will be credited to Jake Ryan.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
See if they stay on the ground for second down.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
And you know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. They'll run it now out of the gun. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
I got tripped this side. I got tripped this side. We got three. Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll set up to throw. To the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They come up in an offset eye. Now a play fake here on first down. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Sterling Shepard, touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Giants have got it on cruise control. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Gold to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And these numbers showing up on the screen, that's why he's their star. They kept him down for a little bit, couldn't keep him down for a full 4 quarters.
But what they were hoping for was a half of a game. And if they could have shut it down at the half, they had done their job. But as you mentioned, a full 4 quarters, and the best, they always feel like they're one run away from changing the momentum or breaking something big. And we're starting to see that here in the second half.
And his throw here's incomplete. And on 2nd and 10 now.
Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on Ringo. Tight ends on Ringo. Hurry up. Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now Glennon. And he gets Picks this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards on the pickup, and all of a sudden here it's third down. Certainly not the numbers that he was hoping for. Rough last week, rough again here.
And I've got to tell you, I'm surprised because I'm used to guys bouncing back from tough performances, but right now it appears he's in a little bit of a rut. So whoever the guy is on the team that he trusts the most, whether it's the coordinator, the quarterback's coach, one of his friends.
Pep talk?
Yeah, it's pep talk time. It's time to get into his head a little bit and try and see if he can get him straightened out.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. Fielded just inside the 20. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10.
Tight left, tight left. 4 down, 4 down. Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Touchdown, Giants. Sterling Shepard with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Giants just continue to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now Gold for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Glennon. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Now let's go. Blue 90.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Drops it off for Coleman. And he's brought down. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll make it second down.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on you heave one deep when you catch him close to the spot.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. They'll look to throw again. And he's got Snead. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. And they're on third and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handed to the fullback, right? As we evolve, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down.
He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on third down. This is now the 9th play of the drive.
Here we go now. 319. 319. Check 93's the mic. 93's the mic.
Back to throw again. Can't find anyone open. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. It'll go in the books as a sack and a loss of a yard, but more importantly, it leads to fourth down. Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. But there is a penalty marker down. They might be forced to try this one again.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
Oh, and you just can't do that. 15 yards on the roughing the kicker call.
Absolutely inexcusable. The kicker's in a defenseless position, and he just gets taken out.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on.
Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver. All right, here we go. 319. 319.
Now Glennon. That's caught at the 2. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Willie Snead, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit.
Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This is fielded at the goal line. Oh, look at the juke. And trotting back out there now, this Saints defense. Yeah, they gave up a touchdown last drive. You kind of need to hit the reset button after every touchdown given up, Charles.
I love that, and the way that you phrased it is perfect because From series to series, you can reset how the game is going to go. If you gave up a touchdown before, it doesn't mean you have to do it again. And if you made a great play before, you have to reset again anyway because they're going to attack. So I love the way you phrased it and put it out there. That's what they have to do in this series.
It's not like when you're playing a video game. You can't hit the reset button here. Let's go.
No, you shouldn't anyway, that's for sure.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive. And when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
They'll run again now with Darkwa. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And now we get a look at the captain of this offense heading back out there now. He's had quite the turnaround, Charles. At the start of the game, passing game was a little bit of a mess, but he's back on the horse, so to speak.
Love seeing how someone can rebound from a slow start or a tough start. It means that they're strong mentally. They've kind of calmed themselves down. Everyone's
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill, but the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up 3rd down.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Second down, sacked by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on 3rd? We'll see.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Glennon. And a quick throw here. That's complete. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Taken from just outside the 30. Look at the dance and the juke. It looked like he might beat that last man. He doesn't, though, but it goes as a 32-yard return. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape, 1st and 10. And the Giants ready to come out now. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
4 down, 4 down. All right, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
He'll look to throw. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone. Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there. And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Orleans Darkwa, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Giants have got it on cruise control.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing too.
Oh, she's at least...
She's on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
So what will they do? On the ground, through the air, let's see. 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And he was able to find a very soft spot in that zone coverage.
I love that term, Brandon. That soft spot where you find the open area, set up, and catch the football before the hard collision comes afterwards.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. One receiver left, 2 to the right.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that will be incomplete as well. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. And he fields it cleanly. sheds a second man.
He's building up some momentum, isn't he?
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The New York set to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
It takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Stays on his feet. There he goes, left side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Orleans Darkwa, 45 yards. And the Giants just continue to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Brought in left side by Snead. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
And this is going to be caught along the sideline. Nicely done, but right at the line of scrimmage.
Partner, we saw him struggle last week. We're seeing him struggle again this week. We talked about it after last week's game, the type of coverage he was seeing. I think I'm seeing very similar blueprint.
That's what I was going to ask you. How often, when you see this back-to-back weeks, is it a defensive coordinator saying, hey, I'm just going to steal what that guy did?
And that's the best way to go about it. Don't try and become original each and every week. If it's working, use it. Put it into your game plan until they defeat it. And so far, that hasn't happened. Excellent coverage, knocking him off his timing. He can't get into his routes the way he wants to. And so far, the defense is winning.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Green 39! Green 39!
Now Glennon. And that one his first incompletion in his last 6 passes. And it's 3rd down. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
Watch 84! Watch 84! All right, here we go. Blue line!
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be from 56 yards out. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's a rare 2-miss ball game for him now. Normally one of the more dependable guys you're going to find around.
Very unlike him. One of the better kickers in the NFL. And I don't think there's anything wrong with him physically or mechanically. He's just having one of those games.
New York set to take the field. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one.
And they just had another big completion there, and I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game, and however it turns out, it turns out.
Blue 90! 95's the sand, though. Check his mic.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. It's a gain of 17 that time. And that leads to a New York first down.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90! Who's on 85? Come on, baby. Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Looks like he'll throw here. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Cameron Jordan in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Will the defense dial up the pressure? Let's see. 3rd and 11.
Here we go now. Blue 90! Blue 90!
He'll drop to throw. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Gold to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he has got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Tight right. All right, here we go. 3-19.
One final shot. They'll look nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this will be recovered by the offense, but it will be of little importance now as time has expired here in this first half. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Giants, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. Till next time, we say so long from the Bayou.